Hello everyone, welcome back to Paperbacks and Ponytails. I'm Katie, and today we are going to be talking about my December reading wrap-up. So it's going to be a bit chaotic because I had a couple of a readathon I wanted to do and a couple other things, so bear with me. But I promised I was going to do a wrap-up of what I read for the Bookmas Readathon hosted by Completely Melanie, as well as a couple of other booktubers. So I will link her channel down below in the description box. She's a nice lady. Okay, so I finished about half the prompts, so I'm happy with that. So I'll go ahead and just read the prompts that were there and then the books that I read for them and if I did or did not read them. So the first prompt, this is the 12 tropes of Christmas. So these are different tropes that could be found in different books. So the first one was The Chosen One. And for this one, I was going to read A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig. And I did read it. Yes, I did. And I really enjoyed it. I think I did give it either 4 or 5 stars. I can't quite remember, but I did really enjoy it. I didn't get to the rest of the series. I do plan on reading the rest of the series next Christmas. Because after Christmas, I usually don't end up reading any more Christmas books. Because usually my Christmas mood is gone after Christmas. And so I just enjoy Christmas books during Christmas. But I did finish it. Really enjoyed it. And then prompt number 2 was Second Chance, which was One Day in December by Josie Silver. But I changed that and read Dead Drift instead by Danny Petrie. And this is the last book in the Chesapeake Valor series, and this series was really good. The first book was a little cheesy, but it turned out to be a really great series overall. So I highly enjoyed this one. So this was my Second Chance romance series. They were friends, and then something happened, and then they ended up meeting again later in life, and it was just really good. Okay, so that was for that prompt. Number 3 was Bookception, a book that has to do with a book, book people, or bookshop. And so the book that I wanted to read was The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. Never got around to reading that because the waiting list was like 40 people long at the library, so I never got it. By the way, here is my adorable mug for the day. You might see this in a couple videos because I'm filming in advance, but look how cute. Little teapot, little lid, which I'm taking off the lid because it's very hot and I need tea soon. My voice is already going today. Okay. Next prompt was Friends to Lovers or Enemies to Lovers. And I was going to read The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. I think I still have that around. I didn't get to it, unfortunately. I hit a bit of a reading slump like the last week and a half of December. So I was supposed to read this, but never got around to it. I was going to do a vlog, but you know what? This will be for next year then. Because I do really want to get to this book. Alright, next up was, let's see, 5, Small Towns. So Small Towns, I ended up reading, I think I had to return it to the library, yeah. A Christmas by the Sea by Melanie Carlson. I think I gave this one 5 stars. It was really cute. I enjoyed it. It's really short. And so, yeah, I did finish that prompt. And then number 6 was Games or Competition. And for that one, I read my very first time. I read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and I really enjoyed it. Almost exactly like the movie. So I watched the movies a couple of months ago. Really wanted to read the books because I never read them, but I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. And yeah, it was just a fun, interesting read. I'm like, I don't know. It's definitely dystopian, more definitely towards YA. YA is hit or miss for me, but I did enjoy that one. That one was good. And then the next one, number 7, was Retelling. I was going to read Scarlet, or listen to the audiobook of Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I didn't get around to it. I think I got 20% in back in November and just never got around to listening to any audiobooks this month, but that's okay. Well, I did listen to one audiobook. I lied. One audiobook. We'll get to that later. Okay, the next prompt was Fake Dating, and I was going to read The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. Again, did not get to that book. I don't know. last week and a half just did not feel like reading. I don't know why, because I normally love reading around Christmas time, at least the past couple of years. So hopefully I will get back into it this week. And then number 9 was Close Quarters, and I was going to read Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Cousinear. And this book just didn't come into the library yet. I asked the library if they could purchase a copy, that way I could read it. And they did do an ebook, but I just really want to read the physical book for this. And it's coming out in January, so hopefully I'll be able to get to it next month. Prompt number 10 was Found Family, and I did read for this one. I read The Christmas Joyride by Melanie Carlson, and I feel like the two main characters they became a little family as her neighbor is retiring to Arizona, and so she wants to take her RV across the country from Chicago to Arizona, and her neighbor doesn't want her to go alone as she's, you know, getting a little bit older. But she did a contest on her vlog stating, if you need Christmas cheer, please enter this contest. So she ends up visiting all of these families that won the contest to give them some Christmas cheer. It's very cute. I feel like this fits the Found Family prompt very nicely. All right, and then let's see. My markings aren't in order because I put a check mark next to some and I'm like, oh no, they're not in order anymore. Found Family, right? Okay, there we go. Number 11 was Royalty, and I did read for that prompt too. I read The Ice Swan by Janelle Sazelski. So good, 5 stars, one of my favorites of the year. I absolutely loved it. It's about the Russian Revolution and how they were trying to dethrone the royalty in Russia, and it was just really good. It's about this daughter and her mother and sister escaped from Russia into Paris and how all the suffering they went through, and even from their own like kinsmen, other Russians, they did not find the help that they needed, and it was such a good book. I really did love it. And then the last prompt was Animal Companion, which I was going to read the book club pick for the challenge, which was Wilder Lore, The Accidental Apprentice by Amanda Foody, and I just never got around to it. I started it, but again, my reading slump hit and I just never read it. I might try to read it again sometime in the near future, but for now, that was it. Okay, so that's all the books that I read for the Merry Bookmas Readathon, so you can get rid of that paper. All right, let me find my rest of my books that I read. Okay, so the rest of the books that I read. So, again, I did a video a little while ago about all the books that I wanted to finish reading before the end of the year. And I'm happy to say that I got done 5 out of the 7 books. So the only 2 that I did not get to, I did start this one. So I'm going to be continuing to read this next month, which is The Threat Below. So I'm about 50 pages into it, and I'm kind of enjoying it so far. I'm not sure what I think of it yet, but I'm excited to finish this one. So this was the only book that I didn't finish, and then I did not get to, did I bring it up here? Apparently I didn't, but I need to finish Tuck by Stephen R. Lawhead. It's the last book in the King Raven trilogy. It's about kind of a Robin Hood retelling series. I am enjoying it. It took me a year to finish 3 books, but it is really good. I'm enjoying it. So I did finish A Night Divided, which we did talk about, I believe, last month. Blind Spot and Dead Drift, which were the 3rd and 4th book in the Chesapeake Valor series. I wanted to finish both of those, and did. Girl from Nowhere by Tiffany Rosenhan, did finish it, enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 stars. It was really good. It read almost like an action film for YA, so it was really good. Really enjoyed it. And then the last book on that list that I wanted to read was Blood for Blood, which was the sequel to Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon, and really good. I talked about it last month, but yeah, so I only ended up not finishing up 2 books, and I plan on hopefully reading both of those in January. So I did good in my want to read before the end of the year. I think I did good. Not gonna yell at myself. Okay, now the rest of the books that I read for the month. I actually did read a lot of books. I think I read Well, it says I read 13, but I do have a couple of DNFs, so I want to talk about those first. I did DNF. Did I bring it up here? Yes, I did. I did end up DNFing So This Is Christmas by Tracy Anderine, and I really wanted to like it. I only got a little bit of the way in, maybe like 10, 20 pages, and it just wasn't for me. I wasn't enjoying it, so DNF that one. And then I also read, or DNF'd, I did DNF one book that I do plan on finishing, which is Mandy and the Angel's Secret, but I realized that in my favorite middle grade book video, I mentioned this series and I said you could read them out of the order. Didn't mean to lie, but you can, but there are like, the plot kind of continues from story to story to story because she meets different characters and they continue on through the series. So I DNF'd this for now, and I'm going to start with book 1. So I'm not counting that against myself. And then the last book that I DNF'd this month was The Death of Jane Lawrence by, and of course I can't read it, but I will put it up here. The Death of Jane Lawrence. I honestly thought this book was going to be so different, and it was strange. It was really strange. I was kind of hoping it was the way it was described, it felt like it was going to be more of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde retelling, which I was so excited for, but it just got weird. Like, it started talking about dark magic and stuff, and that I just don't enjoy that in books, so I was like, no, not for me. So I returned that to the library, and yeah, so that's the last book that I DNF'd. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the books that I read. So, fun books that I found at the library this last month. I found, let's see if I can get off the little paper slips here. Okay, there's no information on here, but I read Pinocchio's Adventures in Snow White in the Enchanted Forest. So if there's any information on that sticker, but they are choose your own adventures for like kind of a lot younger. Like, I thought they were gonna be middle grade like the other choose your own adventure stories, but yeah, they're not. They're definitely for like elementary age, but I did enjoy them. I think I gave Snow White probably like a 4-star, and then Pinocchio maybe 3-star, but that's because I am older. But I honestly think I would enjoy reading both of these for when I have children. I think they would enjoy this series a lot if you have really young kids. So yeah, so I think both of these are they by different authors? Let's see. I'm not sure if they're by different authors. They're both by Jim Razzie, so I enjoyed them. They're very cute. I might continue reading this series just for fun. Alright, and then the next book. Oh, I did have one more DNF. I forgot. The Secrets in the Sauce. Excuse me. It's like the second trilogy of the Potluck Club, and I never read the first trilogy. My mom did. She said she really didn't like it. I don't know, it was kind of depressing to me, so I was like, I really don't want to read this right now, especially around Christmas time or like a little after Christmas. So that's why I stopped reading that one. Okay, the next book that I read was Voyage with the Vikings, and this is my first ever Imagination Station book. And if you're familiar with the Adventures in Odyssey characters, this is the Imagination Station book. So I read the first one. Really enjoyed it. It looks like they're read like kind of in order because they go from adventure to adventure. So I am going to put some more on hold at my library. Lots of fun. They meet Eric the Viking and Leif Erikson, I believe. And they have to find like a certain jewel or stone, to kind of save a character that might be in a later book. So really good. I enjoyed it. Sorry, my first time drinking out of that cup, so I wasn't sure how deep it was. Okay, so let's see here. I did finish The Ice Swan. That was in my favorites of the year. I talked about that one already. So good. And then I also read the very first book in the Nancy Drew Diaries. It's a newer series, Curse of the Arctic Star by Carolyn King. And I think I ended up giving this one, I think, 3 stars. I normally love Nancy Drew, but I wasn't sure about this new series, so I gave it a try. I might continue with it because I think they do go kind of in order as well. So I kind of want to see what happens. But it was good, and I liked the characters, but Nancy Drew, I felt, was honestly a little bit more kind of snarky, if that's the right word that I want to describe Nancy. But she would just like in the older books, like if she wanted to do some detecting, she would like ask her friends to come along, but she had a way of being polite and kind of polite to other people to like find a way to like kind of get rid of those people in order to like investigate without them. But like she was a little bit more snarky and just like on the verge of being rude to other characters. But I guess that, I mean, she is more of like, I thought she was younger in this photo, but she is the same age as the original Nancy Drew book. So she's about 17 or 18 years old. And yeah, it was okay. I like the storyline, but the character of Nancy kind of threw me off just a little bit. Okay, and then I think I have one more book to talk about, and that is Passing by Nella Larson. And it was in a book group that we were planning on reading this. So I listened to the audiobook. It was only about 3 hours long. I hate to say, I don't think I really got it. Like, I listened to it like almost at double speed anyways, but I don't think it was for me. I didn't really get the characters of it. So it's about these 2 women who both are African American, but both of them actually can kind of pass for being white or more of maybe a Spanish colored background. And so they end up meeting years later, and you find out one has been kind of living more of her heritage, and then the other one is living a white heritage to a man who doesn't approve of Black people. And so her husband, wow, like if you dislike a person, that's him, that's for sure. And so yeah, it was definitely different. I wish honestly the story was a lot longer so we could see the development of the characters and see where their stories kind of took place. I honestly felt like it was abruptly ended, and the ending was very strange. Like I didn't know what was going on at the end. It was, yeah, so I think I ended up giving that maybe 2 or 3 stars. But it's enjoyable if you like a very short book. So yeah, that was all the books that I read in December. A lot were missed, but there were a few really good ones that I enjoyed. So if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe down below and like this video. I'm sorry I was kind of a little bit scatterbrained this video, but there was a lot of books and a reading, readathon going on, and there was just a lot going on. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.